one of the most important events in the Polish calendar in Chicago is the Red and White Ball, organized annually by the Legion of Young Polish Women. And we have a great honor to host Aleksandra Gołota, who is the current president of Legion of Young Polish Women. Ola, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
How much work is it to put an event like this together?
You know what? It's a little bit of work, but I am helped out so much by the amazing women on our ball committee. As you know, Polish women, when faced with a challenge, they meet it and they surpass whatever goals are expected. And this year, I'm fortunate enough to have Kinga Korpacz and Marianne Kozelka as my co-chairs. They are incredible leaders, and my job is made exponentially easier with them on board.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to them, and the workload is really amazing, but the team behind these events is really flawless, and they're working so hard with rehearsals and planning, preparation, putting a book together for the ball. There's so many moving pieces, but you did a wonderful job. But you said something about Polish women being able to organize quickly. And this is how Legion of Young Polish Women started. Can you talk a little about the beginning of the Legion?
Yes, so it started a little bit after World War II when a group of women in Chicago decided that they wanted to go and help the Polish efforts in Poland after they were invaded. And so they ended up using the ball, they put on a debutante ball and used those funds to raise enough to help with relief abroad. They bought an ambulance, and they decided to continue the tradition every year ever since. We're an 85-year-old organization.
Yeah, and this year will be what, 84th edition of that ball.
Yeah.
And debutantes, they are front and center.
Yes.
Were you a debutante once?
I was.
Do you remember that moment?
It was wonderful. I loved being a debutante. I was presented at the ball. It was a beautiful evening. It was very hectic, but my dad and we waltzed together. That was one of the premier memories that I had. I remember having an incredible community of girls who were debutantes with me. They're all inspiring people now. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're doing incredible things abroad. And I was fortunate enough to meet them through Legion, and just fortunate enough to have those experiences. Sorry, I digressed a little bit, but
no, wonderful. Do you still keep in touch with some of those debutantes?
I do. I invited them to the ball, so we'll see. They're all scattered all over the place, so we'll see who makes it.
But before the ball, those debutantes do a lot of hard work raising funds for the Legion. How difficult is that for somebody who is just 17 or 18 years old?
Oh my gosh, it's so daunting. But again, this is where it starts with the Polish women rising to meet any challenge. They go and they talk to businesses, they explain who we are. And we're fortunate enough to have a lot of debutantes who have, they're athletes, they're thespians, they're smart girls, they're in AP classes, and a lot of them have a volunteer spirit, and they're able to project that well to the businesses and say how important it is to help our organization by helping them.
Then also before the ball, there is months and months of meetings and rehearsals.
Yes.
That is also an important part, an extremely difficult part to learn those routines, this choreography, or not just one dance.
Yes, so we have the Polonais, we have the Mazur, we have, again, the waltzes with the dads. But to be honest, I think it's the fun part.
The fun part.
And I think the dads love it more than they let on.
But who's more stressed? Because from what I'm hearing, the dads are stressing much more than the debutantes.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah,
because they didn't think this was going to be about them. They didn't think 400 people were going to be watching them dance. But it really forges a father-daughter bond.
And one of the crucial moments of the ball is the bow. And I talked about it with the guests from the Legion, but none of them had an actual experience doing that. The elongated, perfectly manicured bow. Talk about that. How do you feel doing that?
I felt terrified doing it, but I mean, you practice and you practice as much as you can. You put on, some of the girls were just like, I don't think I've ever worn heels before, and now they have to learn how to bow in them. So
What
yeah.
hurts the most? Because your legs must be killing you
Oh,
just to
yeah.
keep the balance.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely actually. Let me think. Should I try it here right now? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Just to see. Yeah, it's probably the feet and the legs, but
Yeah.
those you try to numb the pain. It helps you learn for years to come what that feels like, just numbing it out and forgetting about it completely.
And having several hundred eyeballs on you and just on you,
Yes.
and watching you to execute that to perfection, that's another stress that you have to face. That's another experience, I think, that stays with you forever and
Yes.
helps to shape you.
Yeah, and helps you, like when you're being interviewed on live TV to feel less nervous.
A lot of those debutants are not walking away from the Legion. The following year, they have to reappear at the ball and dance the white mazur. How many of them stay with the Legion for years to come?
A lot do, and we have girls in red who stay year after year. I myself, I went to college and I didn't think about Legion for a little bit, but then there are always the women in your life who are advisors and who inspired you early on. And they're the ones who kind of ask you to come back. And, when Mary Anselmo told me to come back to a meeting, then I was kind of like, oh, what has been happening with Legion recently? I saw the immense progress and steps they've taken to continue to be a great support group for women, helping culture and education. And I sign right back up.
You're right now in the leadership position. You lead that organization. So you're in charge of so many charitable activities that Legion is doing. Could you talk a little about that, about the projects that you're working on with the Legion right now?
Well, right now, Camila Bohenek, she is our technical director. Her main passion is helping with the volunteer arm of Legion. And so we are sending out our debutantes and members who are trying to do it monthly. For like around Vigilia time, then we helped with Szlachetna Paczka and some other endeavors. Last month, it was Feed My Starving Children, where members were asked to go and help package up food items for people that needed it. And then this month, although I'm not sure it might happen just because it is so close to the ball that, our debutantes might not be able to make it until next month. We're trying to help with Paws and the Humane Society and helping wherever we can at the homeless shelters, wherever they need us. And so that's the physical volunteer part. But as far as other endeavors that Legion is involved with, then the ball is really it's the linchpin that helps with the majority of our other enterprises, since we use those funds to help with culture and education and charitable works.
And it's not just Polish community. I think this is very important to stress out, that the funds that are being raised, for example, during the ball, are not spent just among Polish community. You extend much farther.
Yes.
And you honestly spread the word, because everybody sees Legion of Young Polish Women that are helping not just Polish community. Is that part of the mission, to go as far as possible? Yeah,
we're proud of our women, and our women want to help everyone. And so that's kind of what we want to do. We have a lot of pride, and we want to be able to show off what our ladies can do, and then also just be able to keep up with the Legion spirit of charity. So last year we helped with a Mothers and Babies coalition in Hawaii after the fires happened. We expended, I think, $15,000 towards that. The year before, then we helped with the Polish relief after the bombing of Ukraine. So we are international. We want to extend to plenty of other communities. This year, we're trying to work with organizations and Girls Who Code, just because, we want to be able to encourage girls who are in STEM to, fulfill their dreams. So.
Wonderful mission. So let's come back to this year's event, to March 2nd. How many debutantes are being presented this year?
March 2nd, we have 9 beautiful debutantes being presented this year.
And how many people do you expect at the ball? How many guests?
Right now, I don't know if I'm allowed to say how many, but last year we had...
Give us a ballpark.
Somewhere 400, 450, something like that. So...
And this is really an upscale event. Everything from the venue to the gowns and the suits that people are wearing. This is really highest notch. And talk about the experience, what people can expect going to that ball.
It will be a very elegant atmosphere. And ladies are required to wear floor-length gowns. Men are required to wear tuxedos. And it'll be at one of the oldest hotels in Chicago against the backdrop of the Chicago sky. We're right on Michigan Avenue. And so it'll be a beautiful evening. The food is curated to perfection. It is going to be one of the best evenings that anybody can attend.
Yeah, and everybody should be there at least once.
They should be there at least once. So March 2nd, and if nobody's bought their tickets yet, they could buy it at lypw.org.
And we encourage you to do that as soon as possible. The event is nearing.
Yes.
The pool of tickets is also shrinking daily, and it supports a great cause, because every penny that's being raised during that ball will be donated to some charity, not necessarily Polish, but definitely with this Polish theme of Legion of Young Polish Women.
Oh gosh, have you bought your ticket yet?
I have them already.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
I have to ask you about your upbringing, your family. Your dad is somebody that everybody knows, Andrzeja Golota. I think the most successful heavyweight boxer. How was it to be raised in a family with dad of this magnitude?
It was always exciting.
Yeah.
Yes. Because my dad is one of the most creative people, surprisingly, you'll ever meet. And just him as a father, he was always so strong. And I always felt, that I could take on anything because of Legion and also because of him too.
Yeah,
because I always had a support.
Growing up, we all go through the phase where our parents are almost gods, right? They can do everything. I cannot imagine how was it with you and your dad, who was really on top of the world in his profession.
I never thought of him that way. In fact, within my family, then he probably was on the lower end of the totem pole compared to my mom. But yeah, he was always, I don't know, I always felt supported by him, but he definitely, I don't know, I was his star in his eyes. So
awesome. You are right now an assistant attorney general at Illinois Attorney General's office. So you're a lawyer, and I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, that your mom was an inspiration for you to choose that career path.
She was. She was partially an inspiration, and I partially became an attorney in spite of her, because I could never win a fight against her. So she did criminal defense work, and she still has her own private practice. But I'm now a prosecutor and I wanted to be on the other side of it. So but it was her ethical attitude and it was her drive that really pushed me forward towards that path, and her wanting to help people. So.
Wonderful. Since we're talking about moms, debutantes are front and center. Their dads are dancing with them. How about the moms? What are they going through before the ball?
Oh man, they might be the most, they are the strongest people at the ball, because they are just taking on everything. They're making sure that everything stays organized, and I really commend them. They are at rehearsals. They are over there cheering their daughters on. They are helping create plans so that they could help them with their sponsorship solicitations. And the moms are, I haven't done enough to really just kind of thank them. So I'm taking my opportunity here. Thank you, moms.
Thank you, moms. Technically, the moms are watching from the sidelines, but no, they're involved in
everything. Yes.
Ola, thank you so much. So once again, please invite everybody to the ball. As the president of the Legion of Young Polish Women,
I invite you all to come March 2nd to the Hilton on Michigan Avenue. on March 2nd. So if you could attend, we'd really love to see you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Go to lypw.org. You'll find all the information there. You'll find information how to purchase those tickets. Do it fast before they will be sold out. Marioli Gołota was our guest, president of Legion of Young Polish Women. Thank you so much for finding time. I know this is a really busy moment in lives of everybody at the Legion. So thank you for finding a few minutes to visit us. And promise me that we'll do it again, and then we'll talk about what you do at the Attorney General office.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Aleksandra.